movement and trade will continue on the same terms without taxes or without border checks. But during that time, the two sides, the EU and the UK, must agree their future trading relationship. There is a vast amount at stake. Britain does trade. Its trade is worth $1.7 trillion a year, almost half of it with the European Union, and much of the rest under deals that the EU has with other countries, which Britain will no longer be part of. A key benefit of Brexit could be the ability to strike a trade deal with the US, which the EU doesn't have. It's already Britain's biggest trading partner outside the EU, accounting for some 15% of trade. OK, let's go and touch on some other news. Hopefully I'll have more on that, by the way. But some other news making headline news. Hey, the US Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross has said the deadly coronavirus outbreak in China could be positive for the American economy. Yeah, during an interview on Fox Business News, Mr. Ross said, and I'm quoting, "I think it will help to accelerate the return of jobs to North America. The rapid spread of the disease, which has so far killed 213 people, has raised fears about its impact, certainly on the Chinese economy and global growth." Talking of that virus, Kenya's national carrier has suspended all flights to and from China because of the coronavirus outbreak. 6 suspected cases had been reported across Africa, although patients tested negative for the virus. Kenya Airways says its routes to Thailand's capital, Bangkok, will still be operational. Struggling luxury UK car maker Aston Martin has announced plans to raise emergency funding worth around $650 million. A consortium led by billionaire Lawrence Stroll will put in about $230 million, with the rest coming from issuing fresh shares to existing investors. Mr. Stroll partly owns the Racing Point Formula One team. Now, it may not have the financial clout of banking or manufacturing, but you are going to hear a lot about Britain's fishing industry in the coming months. The EU has made it clear that any trade deal must include an agreement on fishing access to British waters, and that it should be reached by the beginning of July. British fishermen in Brixham, Devon, fear that their interests will be sacrificed to get a deal with the EU.
You have to be optimistic to be a fisherman. You'd never leave the harbour if you weren't optimistic. My name's Andy McLeod. I'm skipper owner of the Van Dyke. Been fishing for 35 years. My father owned the boats, passed them on to me. I have my son working with me, so it's a generational family thing. You know, it's probably seen as a bit of a romantic life being a fisherman. It's actually very hard work, and you're away from your families and you're home for days on end. I voted to leave because we wanted to regain some more control over our waters and have a bigger share of the quota. The French get 84% of the channel cod, the UK gets 9%, which, you know, doesn't strike me as being particularly fair. You'd like to think the government would turn around, well, OK, if you're going to start putting tariffs on our fish, we'll put tariffs on all the German and French cars and French wine and cheese. The biggest fear is fishing will be used as a bargaining chip, and we're just pawns to be sacrificed for the greater good of the country. If we don't get continued reasonable fishing, then you're going to end up with a lot of coastal towns becoming ghost towns. Because basically, like in Brixham, you've got fishing and tourism, and that's it. So if there's no fishing, you've only got tourism, and a lot of tourists come to Brixham to see fishing boats.
OK, I will say I've got to apologise. We were hoping to go to Brussels to speak to the British Chambers of Commerce in Belgium and the EU, but we're having problems with the line. Of course, we're going to talk about Brexit and the uncertainty that still exists, of course, for British companies and European companies dealing with both sides while we go through this 11-month section. There's the markets. They continue their ride, or rather sour, down. Yesterday, again, we saw some pretty hefty falls. Again, this is just the concern of the coronavirus and the spread, the number of the rise of the death toll. We know mining stocks taking a hit over all of this. Airlines, the travel sector in general, obviously reeling from it all. I mean, you've got to remember a lot of these airlines have either, as I mentioned with Kenya Airways, the airlines have either cut flights to and from China, or at least or cancelled, I should say. Although you've got to remember too that a lot of these airlines are doing it because demand has to go to China has at the moment fallen off a cliff. So there's the markets. They are down. Okay, now to get some views on the business world. Well, I'm assuming this is about Brexit, right? Yeah, my colleague that is, Victoria Fritz, spoke to Surin Turi's head of economics at the British Chamber of Commerce. Also, Callum Pickering from Berenberg Bank in the City of London. And Victoria started by asking Surin what UK businesses are expecting.
So in the short term, i.e. this year, nothing really changes for businesses. So in theory, there should be no new trade frictions, there should be no new trade costs. But beyond 2020, everything changes. Now businesses are aware there are going to be fundamental changes to how you trade, how you get access to staff, how you move goods across borders, real massive changes. Now, what we hope will happen over the next couple of months is we move from the politics of Brexit to the practicalities of Brexit.
But in terms of the practicalities, I mean, we understand from some of the newspapers that are starting to be briefed on all of this that we're potentially looking at a Canada-style arrangement, which was something that was touted a very long time ago. I mean, just imagine that for a second. If that's what we're going, the road that we're potentially going down, border checks. I mean, what is the impact on things like just-in-time manufacturing, for example?
There's real concerns about what might happen at borders. So if there are new checks with new countries, in particular, new third countries, that could create costs. There's also issues around port capacity. If things do get delayed at ports, what happens there? And what we really want to see is that as we move forward over the coming months, are we going to get that trade deal in place that minimises costs and frictions for businesses? Because if we are able to do that, it will help over the next in 2021 and beyond, making sure that we move smoothly towards new trading agreements.
Callum.
There we go. Sorry about that. That's it for now. Plenty more coming up on Live with Lucy and me next hour, top of the hour, in fact. Follow me on Twitter. Tweet me, I'll tweet you back. You can get me at BBC Aaron. I'll see you soon.
When the weather turns colder, you want to be cozy, but you wake up sweaty because cotton bedding and sleepwear traps heat and moisture. That's not cozy or comfortable. So we developed the Chics Performance Sleep System, which has all the same benefits as our best-selling original performance sheets. As elite athletes, we personally experienced how technical fabrics improve athletic performance. So we applied that same technology to our bedding and sleepwear. We invented a one-of-a-kind, all-new performance sleep system that includes our sheets, mattress pad, comforter, and sleepwear, engineered for better sleep, wellness, and recovery.
The Chic Sleep System has really changed our lives. Everything works together to keep you cozy and comfortable. You wake up feeling refreshed.
You don't know what you're missing until you get the Chic system.
In this demonstration, steam represents your body heat. You can clearly see Chics breathe 10 times better than cotton. Even after adding a second layer of Chics, our performance sleep system still moves heat away from your body and wicks moisture, keeping you cozy and dry. Cotton will never do that. Just like our performance sheets, our comforters, mattress pads, and sleepwear work together.
Chic feels buttery, soft, luxurious, romantic. It's just an amazing sleep experience.
We're proud of what our customers are saying about Chics and have thousands of 5-star reviews. We guarantee Chics will be the best life-changing sleep experience you've ever had. You deserve it.
Call or go to trychics.com now to sleep better every night. Order your Chics Performance Sleep Set in your choice of size and color. For a limited time, you'll get 25% off when you use the promo code on your screen, plus 2 additional pillowcases at no cost. That's a total savings of up to $100, and we'll even throw in free shipping. And right now, you can enjoy special additional savings on the entire Chic Sleep System. Sleep on Chics for 30 nights, and if you're not satisfied,